In this patch I use two voices, one from the VC-VREC VCO and one from Basel, from Weifeld. I don't use this ADSR, as I see. It's a remainder from a last patch, from experimenting. So let me make it a little bit more dense. So the voice coming from Basel is not sent through an ADSR, but through plateau and then to the mixer and to the output. The first voice here on the left side is sent through VCA and ADSR combination. The gate impulse comes from the sequencer here above. Both voices are fed by quantizers, which at the moment are adjusted to the same scale. It's a simple the C major scale. The voices, the CV coming from the sequencer is adjusted at the moment to another scale. They call it a blue scale. Well, it is a kind of blue scale. I can adjust the scale with this knob here, and I can even modulate the scale. The same as it's the same with the key. I've chosen C here, and I can change the key with this knob and modulate even the basic key. So we have two rows of pitch knobs. The upper row is quantized to the scale, as I explained a second ago. The lower row is not quantized at all, and the lower row delivers continuous CV amounts. The small knobs are the amount of randomness, and the amount of randomness here means how far a certain pitch can deviate from the adjusted pitch here. So for example, let's say this pitch number 3, step number 3, F5 here with the upper row, and we have randomness of 26%, meaning that the actual pitch at each step here, at each step number 3, can deviate by a little bit, about a quarter of the whole range of audible pitches. It's quite a lot. Here it's less, it's only 3%, so the pitch here will always be near D sharp in this second step. So what is important? Yes, of course. Then I am modulating the clock. So I'm modulating the speed by this LFO-VCA combination. So I attenuate the signal from the LFO a bit so that the speed doesn't change that much, to avoid quite, let's say, extreme rhythms. Yeah, the output of the lower row here comes from the V output and goes to this quantizer and into Basel, and the output of the upper row comes from this middle red output and goes to the quantizer and to VC-VREC's VCO. So now I can change, of course, can change the speed of the modulation. I can change the clock itself, so the speed offset. But the first thing I want to do is just to change the scale with this one, and I want to change it to the same scale as Borderland, not Borderland, Bordel sequencer has. And please remember, it comes from the unquantized pitch row here down, unquantized, not quantized by the sequencer. So I'll do this to the same here. Yeah, go away. Yeah. F, G, A, C, D sharp. Yeah, okay. So now we have the situation that development, the pitch development coming from this lower row is forced into blues scale C minor blues, C blues scale in C, blah 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 blah, blues scale in C, whereas the quantized to this to the pitch CV, which is by the sequencer quantized to the same scale as this one now, but because of the randomly changing pitches of some steps, it's wider. It's quantized to a wider scale, which does not contain only these 5 different notes, but all notes of the C is possible to. It's possible to get all notes of the C major scale, which is the scale adjusted here with this quantizer. So the randomness now of the upper row of the upper CV development, the randomness is, let's say, is choosing between the blues scale and the C major scale. Kind of jazzy. So let me change frequencies now, meaning let me change the modulation frequency of the sequencer now. I increase it at first. So you may say, wow, it's not getting faster. Yeah, of course, because we have a sequence running here, a certain frequency, meaning a certain speed of steps, and this speed of steps I modulate, so it's not directly the frequency of this LFO, which makes the frequency or the speed of the sequencer, but the relation of both speeds. All right, and now of course I can choose different ADSR adjustments here. I can even send the second voice here through an ADSR and. But these are matters for the next chapters.